Think about the last Rocky movie you saw. Rocky is down, Rocky trains, there's a whole montage. He runs up some stairs, punches some meat, the fight comes, then the bell rings. Rocky wins. Sometimes he loses too, but that's fine, because either way, he's still standing, and you walk out of the theater feeling something. What if I told you that that feeling has a shape? Better, what if I told you we could capture it? American novelist Kurt Vonnegut once had an idea that every story ever written in the history of mankind has a shape. You follow a character and plot his good fortune and ill fortune over time, and you get a curve. Cinderella rises, dips, rises higher. Hamlet falls deeper, and never recovers. Rocky falls, climbs, and lands on his feet. Vonnegut also said that you should be able to feed these shapes into a computer someday. Well, in 2016, that day finally came. But with books, researchers looked at roughly 1,400 books and found 6 basic shapes underneath them all. That was literature. I wanted to know what Hollywood's shapes look like. So here's what I did. I took a screenplay of a movie like Interstellar and split it into 20 chunks. I ran each chunk through a sentiment model that scores how the mood rises and falls across the writing. I then string those scores together, which gives me the emotional arc of the film, aka its shape. I even made it so that you can hover over specific points in the arc and watch the scenes for yourself. Of course, I didn't stop there. I did this to many other films. If I had to give a number, I would say 1,627 to be exact. I pulled every movie script starting from 1980 all the way to 2025 from ScriptSlug, an online movie script database. I ran them through the same process I just described, and with help of machine learning, I asked which shapes keep popping up. It came back with 6, same as books. Let's look at a few examples. Take Knives Out. It's a family reunion that goes wrong and stays wrong. Gladiator is another. Maximus loses everything, fights his way up, dies a free man. Rocky is a third. The man in a hole who climbs out and wins the fight. That's 6 shapes for 45 years of Hollywood. Ask what the most common shape is in any given decade, and the answer barely moves. The proportions have held, which means Hollywood has been telling the same 6 stories, roughly in the same weights for the past 45 years. So why do the films of now feel different? Could be for a few reasons. For starters, people in movies just talk a lot more now, and the age of show don't tell is over. Scripts have been getting talkier and talkier since the 80s, and the range has shrunk. The 80s had real outliers with movies that were almost all action, like Jurassic Park. You go to 2010s and they just don't make movies like that anymore. There's also a second reason, which is that the rising shapes are losing ground and the falling shapes are gaining it. Let's zoom into a genre like drama, and we see that Rags and Riches has collapsed, almost disappeared. It was the underdog story that just rewrote the genre, and now they don't even make movies on it. Then you zoom into a genre like horror, and you see that we have rises that end in a crash with no chance of recovery. So it turns out that Kurt Vonnegut was right. Stories do have shapes, and those shapes haven't changed in the last 45 years. Our heroes have, though. They used to climb back out from trouble. Now they get sucked into it forever. Stories are rehearsals for what we expect from the future. And for the past 45 years, we rehearsed climbing out. As of late, we seem to be rehearsing the fall and just staying there indefinitely. Which begs the question, what kind of future are we practicing for? Because that sure as hell looks extremely dark.